Good day, everyone. I am researcher Catherine Joy Alinsog,
Hello everyone, I am Jessa Cuyos.
Hello everyone, I am researcher John Ablotiana.
and our research title is A Correlational Study, Oral Recitation Anxiety and Emotional Intelligence among first-year students of University of Mindanao Tagum College.
Let's start for the introduction. For the global problem, according to the study in the University of Putra in Malaysia, anxiety can affect the students' productivity, performance, and academic achievement in many ways. It will be happened among students when they feel intense worry about upcoming and previous incidents, too much self-concern, and high focus on acting proficiently, or they motivate by various items. For the national problem, in a study at Jagubiao National High School, Cebu City, Philippines, oral recitation anxiety is one of the greatest challenges that faced by the students nowadays. Anxiety can affect the students' productivity, performance, and academic achievement in many ways. Students need to have a cognitive ability to cope with the anxiety they feel. For the local problem, the study of Lucena and San Jose 2016 in Vicente Hizon Senior Elementary School in Davao City, there is an important issue that most students face when learning and speaking in class. Believe that anxiety is a significant barrier to overcome when learning to speak. Let's move on to the review of related literature. Oral recitation anxiety is much more than stage fright, common in speech classes, assemblies, and theater plays. It's an anxiety pattern that starts in elementary school and can significantly impact a student's spoken communication, social skills, and self-esteem, according to Tooley, 1998. Generally speaking, speech anxiety is the feeling of nervousness, dread, and concern that people experience before, during, or after public speaking, according to Dwyer 1998.
And according to Beatty 1988, pointed out that when a nervous symptom arises, a person may experience shaky knees, a shaking voice, speaking fast or slowly, or even a flat voice. Saracen 1988 indicated that students that are nervous about their performance might be preoccupied with irrelevant ideas unrelated to the topic, reducing focus and negatively impairing cognitive tasks such as learning.
In addition, emotional intelligence has grown as an area of research since being popularized by Daniel Goleman, 1995. While it is widely used in the commercial world, it is still relatively new. Although there are different definitions of emotional intelligence, supporters believe that the capacity to regulate and manage emotion makes people smarter. Moreover, emotional intelligence is a powerful inner aspect that can help people grow or improve their behavior and patterns. In reality, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize patterns in people's behavior and respond to them in a variety of ways. These emotions have a direct impact on people's ability to achieve social and private performances. This intrinsic component influences the way people live, interact, and learn, according to Lopez et al. 2004.
For the purpose of the study, oral recitation, also known as public speaking or simply presentations, consists of an individual or group verbally addressing an audience on a particular topic. Oral recitation is a form of assessment that calls on students to use the spoken word to express their knowledge and understanding of a topic. On the other hand, emotional intelligence means that the individual can manage and understand his or her emotions positively and can help relieve stress and communicate effectively with others. Hence, the purpose of this study is to correlate the oral recitation anxiety and emotional intelligence. This quantitative study seeks to determine if there is a relationship between the two variables.
So it sought to answer the following questions. First, to assess the level of oral recitation anxiety in terms of nervousness, self-confidence, and self-esteem. Next is to assess the level of emotional intelligence in terms of self-regulation, social skills, self-awareness, and motivation. And for the last is there a significant relationship between oral recitation anxiety and emotional intelligence?
Next is the method of the study. The research design, this study used a quantitative, non-experimental research design utilizing random sampling technique. In the research participants, there were 354 participants in this research selected through the random sampling technique. In the research instrument, researchers handle the standardized questionnaires to the participants. This questionnaire was administered through Google Form to ensure the safety of participants and for us to obey the existing health protocol due to current circumstances. With this, the researchers were able to acquire the latter's view regarding the issue being given attention by the study. The first set of the questionnaires deal with oral recitation anxiety with three indicators, which is the nervousness, self-confidence, and self-esteem. The other set of questionnaire deal with emotional intelligence with four indicators, which is the self-regulation, social skills, self-awareness, and motivation. Next is the result and discussion. The table 1 represents the level of emotional intelligence. It shows the mean scores for the indicators of emotional intelligence with an overall mean of 3.66, described as often with a standard deviation of 0.66. They often could be attributed to the participants' high rating in all indicators. This means that the participants' responses to emotional intelligence were observed in the majority of the cases in the item of self-regulation, social skills, self-awareness, and motivation. The cited overall mean score was the result of gathered from the following computed mean score from highest to lowest. 3.92 are often for motivation with a standard deviation of 0.78. 3.70 are often for self-awareness with a standard deviation of 0.71. 3.60 are often for social skills with a standard deviation of 0.76. And 3.42 are often for self-regulation with a standard deviation of 0.77. The primary emotional intelligence indicator with the highest mean was motivation. Highly motivated participants continuously learn to improve their performance. Thus, students' determination to push themselves to the limit helps them pursue information to reduce uncertainty and find ways to do better. Consequently, operating from the hope of success rather than fear of failure, resulting them working hard and learning from their mistakes. With regards to self-awareness, the level of mean was high, and the participants knew which emotion they feeling and why. Thus, participants realized the link between their feelings and what they think, do, and say. Moreover, participants recognized how emotions affect their performance. They were aware of their strengths and weaknesses and presented themselves with self-assurance. This is followed by social skills as an indicator in which it obtained the third highest mean score. The participants made sure to fine-tune the presentations to appeal to the listener and for them to listen well, seek mutual understanding, and entirely welcome exchanges of information. They also fostered open communication and stayed receptive in dealing with difficult issues straightforwardly. Thus, participants recognized the need for change and remove barriers to it. Finally, the indicator with the lowest mean is self-regulation, in which participants manage their impulsive and distressing emotions, to think clearly and stay focused under pressure. Thus, seeking fresh ideas from a wide variety of sources, stay composed and positive. Moreover, this would result in controlling emotions and calm even in trying moments. Participants' responses to emotional intelligence were observed in the majority of the cases in the item of self-regulation, social skills, awareness, and motivation.
So for table 2, it shows that the mean scores for the indicators of oral recitation anxiety with an overall mean of 2.92 described as a sometimes with a standard deviation of 0.69. The sometimes level could be attributed to the participants' high rating in all indicators. This means that the participants' response to oral recitation anxiety was observed in many, but not the majority of the cases in the items of nervousness, self-confidence, and self-esteem. The cited overall mean score was the result gathered from the following computed mean scores from highest to lowest. 3.03 or sometimes for self-esteem with a standard deviation of 0.79, 2.94 or sometimes for nervousness with a standard deviation of 0.72, 2.79 or sometimes for self-confidence with a standard deviation of 0.81. The participants on their level of self-esteem and oral recitation anxiety appear sometimes observed. Participants sometimes do not think that they are stupid when they make a mistake. When they speak in front of the class, they feel good sometimes, feel satisfied when making mistakes, and sometimes think that they were good and have much to be proud of. With regards to nervousness, that was also observed in oral recitation anxiety, participants seldom panic and get nervous about reciting without preparation in advance, that they feel their heart pounding when going to be called on. Moreover, participants seldom have visible signs of nervousness, such as sweating, palm, shaky hands, and so on, right before an oral recitation. This was followed by self-confidence that was evident in oral recitation anxiety, and participants seldom feel quite sure of themselves while speaking in front of the class and self-assured while talking. This would result in hardly using voice and body expressively and being comfortable standing while doing recitation. So for the level of oral recitation anxiety, participants' response to oral recitation anxiety was observed in many, but not the majority of the cases at the items of nervousness, self-confidence, and self-esteem.
For the table 3, which significant relationship between emotional intelligence and oral station anxiety. One important purpose of this study is to determine whether or not emotional intelligence has a significant relationship with oral recitation anxiety. Pearson R was used to determine the correlation between the two variables. The results of the computation are shown in Table 3. The results reveal that emotional intelligence versus oral recitation anxiety yields an R value of 0.496, which is significant. The result was due to the p-value of 0.001, which is lower than the zero point zero 0.05 level of significance. This led to the decision that the null hypothesis, which stated that there is no significant relationship between emotional intelligence and oral recitation anxiety, is rejected. This further means that there is a relationship between two variables correlated. Based on research on the relationship between emotional intelligence and oral recitation anxiety, it has been evident that emotional intelligence affects the oral recitation anxiety of the first year student at the University of Mindanao Tagum College. The result was supported by Petridge in 2013, which stated that people who score highly on emotional intelligence are said to have the ability to comprehend, process, and apply information regarding their own and other people's emotions in daily life. The results revealed that the majority of first year students could keep track of their own and other and other people's emotions, recognize various emotions, label them appropriately, and use emotional information to influence their decisions and behavior. So for the significant relationship between emotional intelligence and oral recitation anxiety, there is a relationship between two variables being correlated.
Next is the conclusion of the study. Based on the findings of the study, the emotional intelligence was positive in oral recitation anxiety of first-year students. The level of oral recitation anxiety based on the findings means a significant relationship exists between emotional intelligence and oral recitation anxiety. The emotional intelligence significantly influences oral recitation anxiety of the first-year students at the University of Mindanao Tagum College.
In the light of the initial findings and conclusion, the following recommendations are offered. Students overcome oral recitation anxiety by having a better preparation and comprehension of the given topic, concentrating on the question being asked rather than the audience. The students should recognize and acknowledge their success. Students must maintain their anxiety coping strategy in oral recitation by practicing speaking in front of many people and becoming comfortable with each one. Teachers must modify their discussion techniques. The teacher must adopt the 21st century techniques such as having a deep understanding of students' capacity and connecting their content area to authentic global issues and perspectives. In oral recitation, both the teacher and the students raise anxiety awareness, motivate them to recognize anxiousness, and assist them in reducing their anxiety.
That's all for our final presentation, PowerPoint presentation of our research entitled A Correlational Study, Oral Recitation Anxiety and Emotional Intelligence Among First-Year Students of University of Mindanao, Tagum College. Thank you everyone for watching and may God bless us all.